Warm up. That was a warm up. That was a warm up. Yes. Yeah. Moving in just fortress like it's NOIA. I don't even need the army. Why? Yeah. Yeah. Protected on my street, I know. Whoa. Whoa. Violence is so rampant though.
What's going on? What's going on? Lozart. Look, this is Lozart's frame of thought. Thank you for tapping in with me real quick. We're gonna jump right into it today. Um, you know what? It's a lot going on in the world, right? And I don't know. It just seems like it's just a lack of peace. You know what I'm saying? I recall a few uh, shows ago that I mentioned that with my children. We've been going over certain words. Reading the definitions like peace, joy, love, faith, stuff like that. And the last, few weeks ago was peace. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically during that time frame. Just that's what we're all, me, my son, my daughter. We're just going to focus on peace during this time frame, regardless of what's going on in the real world, right? Or in the world around us that surrounds us, right? But just focusing on that, just kind of like some things that kind of pick up tools that in my understanding that they can utilize later on in their life and stuff like that, right? Neither here nor there. So this few weeks right now is joy. So had them read the definition of joy, what it means, things like that. And I think it's necessary to even bring that up because we're going to get into a serious topic right now. If anyone knows the picture of the beautiful young lady on the screen right here, this is the ex-girlfriend of Chad Wheeler. He is a NFL ex-NFL starting, I believe, left tackle or just he could have played on the right side tackle. You know. Uh, White guy, you know. Um, and you know, this individual, actually, put hands on this woman, to the extent of real scarring, you know. So that's kind of what we're talking about today, within the real world, domestic violence on such a scale that it can be used within the media, even as a, because we always bring it back to how the media is portraying this, right? Um, how it really even comes down to a greater understanding of the implications of such a alleged claim, right? In this case, of course, it's not an alleged claim. I see that young lady as my sister, and I was staying with my sister in a circumstance like that, right? But still, we gotta keep into take into account, but also have a framework of thought that that this is something that still goes on today, right? Not just the physical nature of the attack, but more so the misuse of the allegation of it as well. And that's where the KeKe Palmer circumstance comes in. We're going to touch on that too, but what we really want to do is pay homage to this circumstance first. I think that that's very vital to pay our suitable respects in my mind, right? Okay, so we got a few videos here, and we're gonna go through them briefly. We're gonna just show some aspect of what actually occurred, unfortunately, um, with the young lady in terms of her attacker. All right, and then we got to get into this. We got to speak on this. It's crazy, man. It's one thing that I've learned, being a younger man dealing with women, being married for a time, but basically to your, your college, um, I guess girlfriend or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? Trying to make all the appropriate steps, which, you can't fault anyone for that, right? Just trying to do it differently and better than what you've seen it before. But one thing that, I understand now that I didn't understand as a younger man is that, like, man, like, you do marry the family, right? You have a child, you're having a child with that family, right? And so it really does depend on the man if he has that ability to keep everyone in line. Now people still gonna do what they do in the sense where, like, let's say you're on a basketball court and you know let's take it back to the 90s references. Somebody think that they playing like lockdown, you know what I'm saying, defense like Gary Payton, but then Jordan still walks on the court. So everybody on Gary Payton team is gonna be like, all right, we know Jordan gonna get his 45. He gonna get about he might do a double nickel on him, right? But let's just try to stop everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Contain the team in effect to try to contain um Jordan himself. And so, with that being stated, sometimes that's how it can feel like within a family setting, especially if, let's say, one portion of the family is not as active, due for whatever reason. It could be, benign neglect from, let's say the grandparents on one other side of the family, then the other side, you know what I mean? Or it could be simply just a refusal to impart space in the children's lives, where it would be healthy for them, and suitable for them to know every aspect of their family, just to be well-rounded people, if that's the goal, to make them well-rounded people as they mature, right? You will know a lot of people do take a lot of things in consideration, and they gamble a lot with their own personal lives. And so some yeah, you will see in certain circumstances how these same people will gamble. We have to look at it from a certain standpoint, and I don't want to demonize anyone, but mostly children are being raised by mothers in our community, right? So, people will, if they're willing to gamble with their own personal stakes, then sometimes are uh you know incapable of understanding why it's not even a reason to gamble with their own child stakes. That's how I look at KeKe Palmer's mom. But let's get back to it real quick though. We're gonna jump into it. We're gonna jump into it. We're gonna walk through it real quick. Let's jump into this video real quick, just so we can get caught up to speed on what actually happened a week or so since this occurrence. Let's go.
No, it's just, yeah, I'm finally feeling like that freeing feeling, like I don't have to feel so nervous.
Then Seahawk Chad Wheeler was arrested in January of 2021. Court documents allege he choked and beat Taylor during a manic episode inside a Kent apartment building.
That night, he just decided to kind of take his rage out.
According to court records, officers found Taylor covered in blood and her left arm limp against her body, reportedly telling police she thought she'd already died. Taylor survived only to see her name released in tabloids and across social media.
I was just like, oh, okay, so this is out. And I'm like, okay, how do I want to handle this? Do I want to hide away and let this go under the rug, and then he gets away with it, and then other people are also hurt? Or do I want to just step up?
The court process took
Salute. You know, I don't have a dog in a fight, um, but I do have a daughter, right? I do have a daughter. You know, I have a mother. I have a sister. I have sisters. You know, um, stuff like that is real. You know, and you will always hope that everyone is, meaning well, but you can't always think that people have the right intentions for you and your loved ones. You know, now I do think that a lot of people need to keep their family out of their marital business. You don't run till every little thing that may, irk you to your family or your friends and stuff like that. I'm talking for, for men or woman, really. That's a waste of time. You'll always get the wrong advice. Almost always, And why would I say almost always? I initially said always, but I had to correct myself. Almost always get the wrong advice. Why? Because they're not in that room with that person in that war room with you. You know, let's say we're talking about marriage. They're not the one, you know. So anything they say should be irrelevant. Now it can sway things, I guess, but it should be irrelevant. You know, I guess I'm speaking from a male's perspective, from a man's perspective. I had to grow into my manhood. I grew up fast, but I still had to mature into my manhood, you know, to where I'm comfortable within my own skin and I do what I do, right? And so I had to learn these things though. You know what I mean? Um yeah. When it really come down to it, you marry that family. And when you marry that family, or when you are in tune with that family, whatever is being stated or not stated is going to affect the circumstance. Now, the reason why I speak that, it may sound like as if that, I'm directing that portion of the conversation towards KeKe Palmer, but no, we're going to go through the rest of this story and we're going to realize that what led to this incident was something of a um, conversation that the young lady with the ex NFL tackle or whatever, um, they were having a conversation about her possibly or possibly not being pregnant. So, hey, got to be careful out here in these dating streets. Let's go.
nearly 3 years. Thursday, a judge found Wheeler guilty of both first and second-degree assault. He faces a minimum of 5 years in prison.
I think it's sometimes a bit difficult, especially when holding someone accountable. Someone, a person of power, someone popular like that in the NFL, holding them accountable, you can have a lot of pressures on you. So I say first and foremost, be present with how you feel. Don't feel guilty. Don't be too mindful of what everyone else's feelings are about the situation. Be present with yourself.
Taylor sees that night in Kent as a turning point in her life. Today, she's thriving as a model, works in the medical field, and perhaps most importantly, is an advocate for domestic violence survivors.
I just want to break the cycle. I come from a long line of women that have dealt with domestic violence, and I just feel
Oh
like it
man.
just needs to end.
Wheeler
Oh man. Oh man. Look, look, look. I'm gonna stop it right there. I'm gonna come right back to you real quick. You know what? Certain things, and especially in the black community, could just get swept under the rug way too often. And you know, no one is helped. No one is, addressing what needs to actually, be done. You know. And so when we are like literally looking at individuals like Aleah Taylor, you know, you look forward towards, that continued growth, of that sister. That just it is what it is. You look forward towards the continued growth of that sister. They said she was doing good things. Um, so this is bro, right? This is bro. You know. Um, I don't know, man. You know, I don't know. I don't want to make any judgments about dude, but white privilege looks like, you know. Hold on. I ain't have him on the screen. Let me pull him up now. Look, there you go. Bang. Chad Wheeler. So, um, I don't know, man. You know. Now, I do have an understanding that, to a certain extent, I've seen like TikTok videos and stuff. I can't speak to no personal understanding. I do know that Chicago is a certain type of city that like its race relations very separate. I do understand that. But no, for real though, like this young black woman was dating this fella and they wound up in a circumstance for whatever reason. I don't know. I'm not here to really speak on that, right? This is the face of an abuser. I'm being overly dramatic for a reason because I'm going somewhere with this. This is what an abuser looks like, guys. And I'm not calling them this. I am basically stating what the news is stating. Let's get him off the screen for a little bit. So, because I want this to be perfectly clear, you know, um, there are so much narratives and people got to wait for the real truth to drop down and stuff like that. But honestly, once people are considering themselves overly engaged within your circumstance, it's probably something wrong with that. You know, especially I'm talking about a marriage. You know what I'm saying? I'll speak on those levels. You know, I don't care if it's the mother, I don't care if it's the father. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes honestly, you have to, take a stance and be like, okay, well, is even the father, like, if he was present in the young lady's life that you're looking to marry, is there somebody that you can even really look up to like that? Like, does he stand on, like, not business? Of course, anybody can stand on business, but does he stand on principles? What about principles? So let's get back into the story real quick. Um, Chad Wheeler, another news story. Let's go after it.
Devolved into the massive football player his 6 feet 7 inch, 310-pound body described as the ideal size to play tackle in the NFL, a physical run blocker, hunting her down from the bedroom to the bathroom as she attempted to escape to safety. The EMTs likely said they had 2 patients. Perhaps one was a police officer. We're going to hear in detail how it took several cops to get Chad to stop resisting arrest. We will examine the court documents to see what this massive
This is on the night of the arrest. Okay. So the actual incident, um, they putting up paperwork. Let me see whose channel is this. I apologize. I'm not quite sure whose channel this is. Plunder. Yeah, shout out to Plunder. Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to Plunder. Yeah, I don't even, I just checked this portion of the story out, so we just gonna rock with it. Let's go.
man did when confronted by police. It's not clear who the 2 patients were that the EMTs were referencing, but Aleah was definitely one of them. The other patient might have been Chad as a result of his strong resistance to police. So that night, officers were dispatched to the domestic dispute. Aleah called 911 and she reported indeed that she was being killed. She stands only 5 feet 9 inches and weighs 145 pounds in comparison to Wheeler's massive
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I'll let her finish
6
that.
feet 7 inches and his 318-pound listed weight. Officers
Okay, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. That's what I want to get to. That portion right there. My man talking about he stands 6'7" and his listed weight is 318. That's his playing weight. I would assume this is around, training camp or in season shape, right? Okay. 318. 6'7", 318. All right. This is what an abuser looks like, guys. We need to not overlook what the media would just display to us as what abuse looks like. Because some people will latch onto that and then they will try to take that into the next step and then try to actually take people to court on the grassroots level. And then that's when you have a lot of people just like, um, shit, for lack of better terms, the old saying was ass out. You know what I'm saying? You'd just be like, you'd be left out in the cold. You know what I'm saying? As my grandmama would say, you know what I'm saying? You got to get on the B train. Back in that day, there was only 2 train lines. It's about like 17 now. They don't go all the way through the south side though. They don't service the south side. They said fuck the niggas on the side. No, but for real though. But yeah, you just you know what I'm saying? Like, but if my man was 6'7", listed again, this is probably training camp, this is probably in season, 318, when he had this run in, with the lady, right? His lady at the time, right? She stands 5'9", 145. So he was literally throwing her around like a rag doll. Now, whatever the conversation was that led to it, 'cause I'm pretty sure that I'm not sure of the ages, but I would state that they were probably into younger folks' activities, right? Let's just say it like that, respectfully, right? Because we always young, right? And so, with that being the case, still, this is what an abuser looks like, guys. Come on, let's keep going.
Officers arrived and heard screaming from the inside. They forced entry into the apartment, and while clearing the apartment, observed a pool of blood on the comforter of the bed adjacent to the bathroom. Officers entered the bathroom where they found Taylor and Wheeler. Her face was covered in blood, left arm was limp at her side, and she had urinated on herself. Wheeler was standing behind her. He yelled, "Sorry, and I don't beat women," as officers attempted to detain him. Wheeler, using his immense strength and
Do you think that he was being sarcastic? Sorry, I don't beat women. whatever she did, it hurt his feelings because he still was, even when white privilege still, when the police look, hey, look, I'm a brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, just being young, you ran from the police, you had the police called on you, police tried to stop you, like it's just a part of life, unfortunately, for a young black male. Right? It's always that intimidation factor. They're their own gang, and they're a political party within the city as well. You know, if they can all get behind Paul Vallis, and Paul Vallis almost win the mayoral seat, other than who's this, Brandon Johnson or whatever, and he looks like a patsy. He looked like he looked like Uncle Lori's distant cousin. Like, like what's going on? What's going on, Chicago? All right, but for real though, let's get back to this story though, man. We just gotta keep it entertaining, keep it light. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about some real stuff though. We're not trying to overlook the fact that we're talking about something important. You know, hopefully this spreads awareness. Hopefully this spreads at least some cheers for actually the law working in the favor of the actual person that was accosted. Because we still got to get to a story right after this. Let's go.
Athleticism prevented officers from handcuffing him. He fought off 3 fully uniformed officers in the small bathroom and was only detained after officers resorted to using hand strikes and tasers. When asked by Officer Melville if she thought she was going to die, Taylor responded, "I thought I already had." In 2 statements, one recorded to Officer Melville, Taylor described the following. Earlier on 1/22/2021, Wheeler and Taylor had discussed the fact that she was not pregnant. Wheeler texted a picture of himself with a shaved head, which concerned her as his long hair is his thing. She also believed he suffered from bipolar disorder and had not been taking medication. She returned home and described Wheeler as going downhill during the day and becoming more emotional. That night, she tried to talk to Wheeler about what was wrong, but he was in a dark place. Without provocation, Wheeler stood over her and told her to bow down to him. She was confused. She started crying and asked what he meant. Wheeler grabbed her by the neck, throwing her onto the bed. Wheeler strangled.
You know what? Um, in moments like that, like sometimes, okay, we have to keep it a buck. That's what we're gonna do in this channel as well. There was another story, and we'll just be brief. There was another story recently where a young lady, she was again young people activities, right? At a late time in the hour, she was a mother. She had children. I'm not quite sure if she had children with the fella that was with her that evening, but she must have been doing something on OnlyFans or something, or what I'm saying, and she was just really talking out the side of her mouth towards the dude, because it sounds like he was just in her crib, right? And so she like trying to get this money and da 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 da, and you know and because he was like sleep or whatever, and he was talking about like it sounded like he was trying to get her back into the bed or whatever, right? Because it was sound like it was late at night. But she said something slick. He cocked the gun, pulled, what I'm saying, just ran up on it and start calling her names and stuff like that. And then she was like, "Okay, chill, chill." And he still couldn't bring it back together though. Like he just like snapped, and he, what I'm saying, the first thing he could do was pull the trigger, and unfortunately left her there, right? It made the internet news and stuff like that. It was just, it's crazy. It's unfortunate too. You know, it's a lot of stories like that out going on right now. You know, it's a lot of stories of even mothers killing their own kids as well, which is unfortunate. You know, mental health is a real thing. So when she was talking about this dude right here, going through those things, I don't doubt that. Okay, I think people do need to focus on they self and their family. I think that's a good ingredient right there. If you're fortunate enough to have children, focus on your children, even if you're deterred, because that's a motivating factor. Like, gotta get this going for them. You know, gotta do what I need to do for them. Um, and they appreciate it, even if no one else thanks you, and it's okay. That's what being a black man in America is mostly about. We're gonna get on to this next phase. Hold on,
Her with
listen.
both hands while straddling her chest. At some point, he removed one of his hands from her neck and began forcing it down her throat, then using it to cover her nose and mouth, all while still strangling her with his other. People are outraged.
All right, all right, all right. So, of us bringing up this story right here is to state that within the last 5 days, he's been charged. You know, there was a victory, and that was the first video that we were seeing of the lady. It because there's been some years later. You know, so You know, again, he's been charged. He's been, you know, there's no way to come back from that. I'm speaking from a man's perspective. There's no way you're going to come back from that, brother. You know, um, just the white privilege and the remarks that he was making, thinking that he thought that he killed her. Like, so he went off that far, you know, like nothing in you told you, like, just to chill out. Like, even if she flipping out, you did when, hold on. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. I ain't saying let nobody harm you or nothing like that. No. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of our women are experiencing mental circumstances where it is something that, again, I'm not trying to get biblical or nothing like that, but it is anger. Anger is a spirit. That's a real thing. Some people, there's such a thing as, you know, like justifiable anger. Yes, people get angry from time to time. Yes, of course. You know, God even gets angry. Yes, you know. So if God got angry, there were times where, if you believe in Jesus, Jesus got angry, and there was moments where it was written about. You know, so I think anger is a thing, but I think that with most things on this side of the earth, too much of anything is probably not good. You know what I'm saying? So if it's turned up to the max like that, then it can do things such as this, like harm someone to the purpose of even committing acts of murdering someone. You know what I mean? Like, so whatever the situation occurred, I don't believe that murdering the person was justifiable. All right. We got to get into this though. We just had to be fully clear on that. Um, I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? Some of us have witnessed circumstances, whether it was, the woman as the aggressor, or a man being reactive, or a man just being the complete aggressor. I mean, we've seen these things, you know. And that's why I think that we need to look at this further. This situation right here, we got to look at this a little bit further. We got to look at this a little bit further, guys. Within this one video that we're about to show, a lot of people was drugged into this one situation. You see the three faces down here that they got cropped in here. They got my man's right here. Look at him. He looking at him like, damn, I fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love my child, but I fucked up. I love my motherfucking son, my nigga, but damn. And then we got this young, beautiful lady. She's looking like, yes, it's my time. I've been waiting for this. I'm a star. And we got this one right here. We got Bang Yang. Yeah, that's what we're gonna call her with this wig that she got on right here. She's looking like, I've always been a star. I'm being real. Like, this is great. I'm trying to tell you, like, this shit is wild. But that's how it go, right? And so, we're gonna keep it entertaining, but that's how it goes. So that's why I was saying just a moment ago, in terms of, like, literally, you gotta look at you gotta look at the mama. Get a chance, have a conversation with a few conversations. So you will know exactly who you're dealing with in terms of the daughter. You know, I mean, that's just really how it goes. But let's jump into this video really quickly, man. I'm telling you, it is. I think we got to slow this one down because it's only 56 seconds. I want y'all to catch on to what's being stated right here. This is real. Let's do it, y'all. Culture is gay. You and your stupid family don't even understand the business. Usher is gay, guys. Tell her to put some clothes on. Tell her to put some clothes on. Tell her to put some clothes on.
Told her to put some clothes on. She's a mom. She has to put some clothes on.
Because you're nuts. Yeah. There's no reason for you to say that. A Jezebel, calling me Haiti. That's all unnecessary. You do all of that unnecessarily because something's wrong with your mind. It's not normal. You sound like you have a broken brain and you need to go to see somebody because you're chemically imbalanced. There's nothing that I've done for you to stay on that page. People have endured more. I've endured more from you, and I don't do that to you. I don't sit up there and call you all kinds of names and do stuff like that. You randomly have an episode, and then you harass me for an hour straight. That's what you do. It's not normal. It's not necessary. You could just not talk to me.
As long as you dreaming about me, ain't no problem.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Look, Scissor. Hey, shout out to Scissor. I like Scissor. That's a video we probably gonna see that on the show some point down the road. I like Scissor though. They were showing like some then and like before and after type joints. I was checking it out. Probably something we'll put on the channel pretty soon. Back to the story though, man. Back to this right quick. We have a few things that we got to look into real quick. First thing is this right here. So, all right, let's make that a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, this is Google, so you know it's Google. All right, gaslighting. It's a verb. To manipulate. Underlined. Parentheses. Someone using psychological methods into questioning. Underline. Their own sanity. Underline. Or it's a conjunction, right? So it's basically like comparing things, right? Powers of reasoning. So you don't have your wits about yourself, is what the old folks would say. You slow. You ain't got no wisdom. You're a big kid. Let's go back to this video. All right. We're gonna play it one more time. And if Scissor pop up again, we're just gonna watch the video again. Cause Scissor, matter of fact, we might just do it at the end of the video just to see how Scissor progressed. Cause Scissor dope. All right, but for real though, let's get back into it. All right. So I just wanted to get right to the part where this is his video. I'm pretty sure he's keeping, receipts on them because, you got to protect yourself nowadays. But he got to a portion where, where I pause is where he started speaking, where he was interjecting himself again, right? In whatever the conversation the mother's mother was going off on a tangent about, right? And so, okay. Gaslighting is basically something that can be used on everyone at the very same time. It's crazy because if it really does seem like she's trying to bogart the relationship, right? Now, KeKe is the star, KeKe is the one, but I think that mama is one of those helicopter moms. And so, with that being the case, that's something that this man is dealing with now that he has a child with her, right? Okay, cool. It was cool in the beginning, I'm sure, because the mom was trying to see if she can impress her will on him as well. I'm certain. He probably would have get the goods from the daughter, right? And so, just for a little bit, maybe not going along with it, but he just like overlooked it, right? Because it wasn't affecting him, or so he thought directly. And so, with that being the case, because as a man, you're just trying to get your shit off. You're trying to be the best version of this, of a man that you can be, while you're, trying to maintain all of these stages of life that you think are very vital to your matriculation into manhood, like real manhood. Let's go. You know. So if someone is throwing out these words so commonly, we can tell this is how they talk over a evening dinner. So after a while, I'm sorry, a man like this brother right here, whether he look like a dusty, rusty lame or not, he wouldn't probably want to sit at that dinner table no more because maybe they're the type of individuals that come from the hood. I'm not, look, I come from the hood, but it's a difference in terms of coming from the hood and actually still acting like that's all I know. Because since then, my understanding has shot through the roof. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I can still be present in the hood, but I can still go other places as well and have a certain level of courtesy. Let's say if we at a dinner table and someone is waiting on the table, right? And I'm the man at the table. I have a bunch of women around me, or maybe a few dudes in it, but mainly women. And sometimes the women can be very, very nasty to that person that's waiting on the table. You know, and you can see it in their face because when they going through it with them and stuff like that, he be like, "Man, today's supposed to be a celebration night type thing, right?" But and it may not even be the lady that you with. It may be even her people. It may be the mama. It may be the auntie. It may be all of them, and she just going through it with them. You know what I'm saying? But she, turned up, so now she got to go through it with the waiter, well, waitress, I should say. And so when you see that waitress, she ain't got to be no white woman either. She don't. She could be any woman, including black. It doesn't matter if that's the type of time that they on. But as soon as that waitress come around to, what I'm saying, the man at the table, and she asking me what I'm thinking and stuff like that, and it's it's a woosah, like what I'm saying, like it's just like, and I can see it physically, like what's going on at the time, and I'm sitting like, Lord, gee, like I ain't put my hand in my palm and stuff like that, but that's a real story. Like I'm supposed to be, here to be celebrating my lady and stuff like that, and we going through it at the table. It's supposed to be her 30th birthday, a celebration, but we going through it at the table, and I'm sitting here like, not me, but I'm sitting here like, man. So basically, what I'm saying is, you do have to, pay attention to, the family, because soon as you have a child, no matter how they normally talk amongst one another, how they verbally abuse one another, I'm talking about women, families, like from what I'm seeing coming up. I'm not talking about a nuclear family. Like that's why I think I'm needed right now, is to talk about what really is going on, because everybody is seeing what go on the Cosby Show or on Proud Family or whatever, and that's not it. Or some YouTuber family and stuff like that, when they probably be, who knows. But what I'm saying though is that, like, and I'm not one to judge. What I'm saying though is that, like, with that being the case, we really don't know what's going on, what I'm saying, behind the scenes, man. And so one thing could be something totally flipped on his head, and it's something totally different. Like somebody look like they're the bad person, but they really the knight in the shining armor, you know. Let's continue. So it sounded like he was trying to get some order in the house. It could have been ego driven. And that's one thing that I think women, can understand about men. We have egos, but I think that what is really going on in society is that they're telling us that men need to understand that women are telling us they have egos too. And like, okay, I get it, but your ego is not as big as mine. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm joking. I'm joking. But no, what I'm saying though is that, like, for real, if they verbally abuse, talking about the family, each other the way that they do, because it'd be verbal abuse when we be around there, like they just say that you be cool with them. That's, what I'm saying. But I mean, why you dating their daughter or whatever, but or their sister or whatever. But like you be like, did that just happen, nigga? Like you talking to your lady, like we gonna talk about this on the drive home, my nigga. Like what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Because the heat could be coming at you as a person that's just there, present with her. You know what I'm saying? And then again, don't get it twisted, because if her people are in her business like that, then she's egging that on too, because she know that that's a support system that energizes her sometimes. even to be reckless, not energize her to confront something that needs to be confronted at this very moment. And I wouldn't have the heart to do it unless I talked with my sister right before we had this conversation that we said we were going to have. No, it be to be on some bullshit. Like today they chose violence, nigga, and today is violent day, nigga. Like, and you be like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it a buck though. We love, but damn. Okay, calling him names. So he's probably heard that he was stupid many times before in this situation. I'm talking about him. Some people ain't gonna settle for that, even if they like KeKe like that. Even if KeKe is blowing them down, like for real. Even if Usher is gayer than a motherfucker, goddamn it, still he don't want them shaking them cheeks on Usher. It sent a bad look. That no, no, no. And all y'all brothers that be, you know what I'm saying, you know, be the good friends to the ladies and stuff like that. Look, look. If she got a man at home, then that's what it is. Okay? Don't be trying to tell the lady what men think and stuff like that. Like that should be crazy. Like, I dated a lady for a few years, and I mean, like, she was in college and stuff like that. And, so of course she's going to be in a diverse group of people and stuff like that. And so, um, in a Zoom meetings and, where she work and stuff like that. So, I mean, like, she'll have, a variety of friends and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? She came home every night. You know what I'm saying? She worked her ass off and she was getting through school. And I was there. I was making sure that was, the thing. And she did damn well. But what I'm saying though is that like, and I don't take no credit for that, you know. Um, but I was there. No, I'm joking, I'm joking. But for real though, like, you'll have these type of individuals, and buddy bring it to your attention something that buddy said, because I'm at home with her every single day. And I'd be like, a real nigga be like, nah, what the fuck is they talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you talk to your lady, you get, like, it's not no checking type of thing. It's more so like we're gonna talk through it type of thing. But I mean, if you really rocking with somebody, when they like, nah, I don't feel that. That ain't even what I believe, nigga. So at this very moment, this nigga is arguing. Well, one, he felt like he had to impress himself on this circumstance. He had to put his foot down, I think, right? I mean, this is just getting out of hand. The whole situation is getting out of hand. You know, he felt like he had to put his foot down, but I'm pretty sure it looks like he goes at them or they go at him. Probably the latter more than the former often, and it'd be like energized like this. If it ain't like a full out argument, because they got circumstances going on right now, it could technically be just sneak dissing, like, you know what I'm saying. And again, with that same relationship that I was in for quite some time, when we first got together, you know what I'm saying, I rock with buddy, you know what I'm saying, still to this day she cool. Salute to you, ma'am. But I used to call Buddy like sneak disser of the year, like, you know what I'm saying. So like I would just catch on to like, look, all right, cool, like, you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that is not quite motivating. I hear what you're saying, but it's not quite motivating me. Now, if you knew how to motivate me, then that's what I am here patiently waiting for from this particular woman at that time. um Things got deeper after a while, you know what I'm saying, but when you rock out with somebody and they hit the waterworks on you first night, then you be like, damn, this can't be life. But anyway, not the first night of meeting, but I'm saying the first night of rocking. Anyway, so what I'm saying though is that, like, again, it's hard to contend with a woman and her mother being her best friend. You would technically, I don't know, I would want a woman to be cool with a mom. Sometimes I don't always work like that, but to be cool with a mom's, but like not no best friend type thing because I was at my mom's house and like all day, like you know what I'm saying, like things like that get kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, I know I'm vulgar sometimes. Is your mama sucking your pussy better than me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to think about it like that, like for real, because it'd be crazy like sometimes. But I don't know, man. But I think it's just a respect thing, though. For a lot of men, it's a respect thing. You want to keep it respectful. Because if I was to be out at a certain time of night and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? You hit my phone getting blown up. You know, so I don't know. I think it's a respect thing. But they got this dude over a barrel, right? They have his child. They ain't married, but they have his child. That's enough for the state, especially the state of California. So what we have to do is be patient with this brother. He might be the most amazing dad in the world, but he's getting raked over the coals right now, and he's realizing it in real time. You know, when the mama is trying to defend her wearing what she wore in front of Usher because Usher is allegedly, in the ABCD, clan. Now, with that being the case, with that being the case, that was used to slander him, possibly even to slander this man as well, because she don't like the brother as well. So it was an indirect attack on this man. Psychological is gaslighting. Because right in these next few seconds, we're going to hear when KeKe jumps in, and she's going to have her standpoint on things as well, right? She's going to back up her mother, of course. Even if sometimes her and the mother don't even rock together, they're still going to, roll together, so to speak, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like in this type of situation, this is how it appears. I'm being dead serious. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, like literally, what I understand. Hold on, did I put I still got the gaslighting thing up here. Hold on. I was talking some good stuff though, but it's still gaslighting. So hold on, let me see here real quick. Let me see if I can get the correct video up here real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, back to KeKe now. KeKe now. All right, KeKe now back on Front Street. All right, so with that being the case, though, man, we got to look at it from the standpoint again of this man felt like at a certain point he was in over his head. I'm not sure of the circumstance with these women because these women were more calculated than him, be it that he was probably a little bit more good natured than them. I'm not trying to, disparage anyone's name, but that's the type of feel that I'm getting from this. He was probably a little bit more good natured, regardless of what his family did or what his family did back in the day or what his family did to them that pissed him off recently or whatever. He probably really liked that woman for genuine reasons. And if they're around the same age, it could have been mutual. But, people talking about like he's the help and the stay-at-home dad and stuff like that. That's crazy because like honestly, he didn't have the money growth trajectory as she did from early on. So that's why I understand people are caping for KeKe right now. Right? She's starting to look like her mother now, if we're being honest. And that's not degrading because if her mother is an amazing person, then KeKe's an amazing person. You know what I'm saying? And so I think he's realizing that, just the combination of dealing with them with such an intensity as they already have curated for so many years, um, is probably looking like you got to cut your losses now, bro. And I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm not saying go to court, but just walk away. You know, when you walk away, sometimes you would still be accused of being connected to that person. And as a man, I even knew when I was younger, like when I had to go through my divorce, and I was drugged into court. And I'm being summoned to court recently again, for something so silly and petty, and it's a mischaracterization. However, I will be present. I told my children I will fight for them. But I brought up the circumstance a little bit earlier in regards to the actual DV case, in regards to this particular case, because this looked like a smash and grab. This looked like a looting in 2020 in Chicago, Atlanta, and all across what I'm saying, the world after Mr. George Floyd what I'm saying, met his demise, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? What this KeKe Palmer and KeKe Mama situation looked like, smash and grab. So that leads me to believe that KeKe Mama is probably not all of a good person. She's got along with not appearing to be a bad person long enough though. You know, but I don't think she's a good person. Now, can that affect KeKe? No. Once KeKe realizes that she acts just like her. Once KeKe realizes that her mother raised her, and most of the things that she understand about life, she probably gained from that one woman. Yeah, yeah, you could look at magazines or back in the day, magazines or whatever, or look on the internet and find inspirations here and there. I'm sure anybody can, right? But it really is a thing with who raised you, you know. So, um, hopefully this man doesn't have a protection order for the fact of just being a concerned dad, because that would be egregious. Let's see what KeKe got to say though.
There's no reason for you to say that. A Jezebel, calling me Haiti. So that's all necessary. You do all of that unnecessarily because something's wrong with your mind. It's not normal. You sound like you have a broken brain and you need to go to see somebody because you're chemically imbalanced. There's nothing that I've done for you to stay on that page. People have endured more. I've endured more from you, and I don't do that to you. I don't sit up there and call you all kinds of names.
Let's pause it right there. In most situations like this, KeKe believes that she is winning this argument. Why? Why? Because she's getting out more words per second. Okay. She's getting a point across. She's saying what she want to say. She's veiling certain things. She's being very derogatory, and at times doing what her mother did in terms of calling him stupid by saying like something's wrong with your brain and your brain is broken, and shame. Just trying to shame the man. So he's in a shitstorm right now. He's getting it from both ends. That's terrible. Like for real, like even to our sisters, man. Look, 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 look. We love our women, right? I've never been one of those individuals that would just look down on our women. Like, my mentors, what I'm saying, the streets that raised me, that wasn't what we was about, right? I mean, like a lot of other shit, but not like that. Like, you try to give, certain levels of degrees to women. You know what I'm saying? Like, but all right, we'll talk about that on another day. It ain't nothing to talk about. But no, what I'm saying though is that like when a man is not saying nothing, it doesn't mean that the argument is being won. It basically means that the person is reverting backwards now. He's shutting down. There's been so many inflammatory things that were just said in this one conversation that if he doesn't necessarily have the tools to of rhetoric to converse with them, then he's going to be emotionally overtaken, and his emotions can potentially lead him to a space where he reacts in a moment of haste. That's why, even for my black son, he know, you know, you don't hit on your sister like that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they wrestle and stuff like that. Like my big girl's pretty tough. But even with her, how she say certain things, I'm like, you could have said that differently. You know what I'm saying? And so I think that this was a moment where he was being piled upon, and it really looks bad.
And do stuff like that. You randomly have an episode and then you harass me for
Okay, if someone have an episode, she's basically trying to call them crazy. Calling someone crazy is the most insulting thing to do in the world if someone is not actually crazy. And the reason why I state that, because I do have a brother that's mentally ill, like certifiable. Like we talked about the individual in the earlier part of the video, the actual abuser. He was bipolar. My brother is schizoaffective. So it's basically that's a combination of being bipolar, having those ranges in emotions, you know, sadness, and then super, super, super excited, and and happy and stuff like that. And sometimes, like, because there was a part of time where he wasn't around me, like after he went into his episodes, he had to go off somewhere. So once I came back home from school, I would check on him. I would make sure he was good and stuff like that. Like throughout that whole time, he would always call my phone. I send him money, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Send him a phone, whatever. But you know, he always stayed in touch, and I was able just to, once I became an adult, retrieve him and get him back here to Chicago. So blessings for that. God, that's God. Even though my lady at the time, which is my ex-wife, fought me tooth and nail just to go do what I needed to do for my family. That was a weekend that was just terrible. And I had a newborn child, my son at the time, so he took the drive with us to Texas as well. But I never forget that. Like, man, this is something I need to do. But she didn't want to go because it's an anniversary or something like that for her father. And I was like, but I gotta go get my brother, so I'm gonna go with you or without you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that she believed me though. You know, she always thought that I would never leave my children. I'm that type of loyal person, but I'm not just gonna be treated, any type of way. And so, but not to get off subject, within this situation, it does appear that there's a lot of gaslighting going on. It does.
for an hour straight. That's what you do. It's not normal.
Mama said, "Nah, I'm gonna harass you." They said he jumped into an episode and started harassing her. Listen to these words, whether they know they're being recorded or not. This is the words this is what's in their heart. Because he probably talking to her loudly or forcefully or in a manner where he's trying to impress upon her the seriousness of a circumstance. Not saying he's doing it correctly, incorrectly. Anyone could disagree in that circumstance. I've seen domestic circumstances. I was the kids there when the police had to come up and what happened, and you be like, I don't know, like shit like that. But you see what the furniture moving in this bitch. So I know. But what I'm stating though, it don't have to be like that. I didn't want that in my family. Even though sometimes you would date a woman who think that that's fair play, and you be like, "Look, if I pop you one time, I could lose my job, I could lose my this, I could lose my that. It could be a domino effect, you know." So he's being coerced, and there's another video where the lady said she was gonna put a bullet in his head. He's being threatened. He's being coerced. He's being manipulated. He's being pounced upon in this one video. Like, it's crazy. So why do we bring this all up right now? Why? Yes, we gotta stop the violence, you know. But this is the face of domestic violence. A victim, a survivor. Okay. A beautiful, beautiful young lady. But she even stated that she wanted to break a cycle. So I would assume she doesn't have children now. I'm not looking into her background like that. I would assume she doesn't have children right now, but if she were to have children, she would be damned if that will continue on in that generation. given the circumstance of what she endured. That's what her words earlier in her in the news clipping earlier, the news video. She's an advocate for domestic violence. All right. And salute to her. That's why this is so dangerous for your black sons, for your black brothers, for your black fathers, if we have black fathers, which a lot of people have black fathers, I believe. Not everybody's circumstance was common to mine, and I understand that, and I recognize that, and I salute that. But what I'm stating though is that, like, that's why this rhetoric that the media is curating around this one circumstance of a disagreement of whether she should wear something or not, and him not getting a hint that he should move forward as of yet. If he would have got the hint a little sooner, he should have just moved forward. KeKe's on to something else. The gaslighting talking about Usher is gay and he don't want her. Look, Usher fucking somebody. He herping somebody up, right? So I think that's, like, it doesn't even matter if, you know what I'm saying, he's someone that you don't want to, like, fuck with like that. It's the principle, I would assume, to this Darius Jackson fella. Now it's a all out, and they got to take this off social media. But now it is a back and forth between the mother and this mother, and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. But we got to be careful with how we characterize people, because I believe one of the 10 Commandments is thou shalt not, I don't know, bear false witness. Gossip is that. I'm not gossiping. I'm speaking on facts. We brought up things in terms of actual records today. We spoke about real experiences today. We spoke about real understandings today. Um, this is not anything to be taken lightly. It's not anything to be pressed upon on just anyone. Some people are actual victims. We should not take away from the care and the help that the actual victims need and survivors need or are able to provide. We should salute even survivors for the assistance that they can provide. But that's this woman, Aleah Taylor. It's not this woman. In this circumstance, KeKe Palmer. It's not her. Lozart, man, look, like, share, and subscribe. We're gonna wrap it up right there, man. Look, Lozart's frame of thought. We got a video, man. We've been doing videos consistently, one a day at least, you know what I'm saying? Hey, check out the shorts. It'd be just some funny stuff I see online sometimes, and I just want to put it up there. I don't really, think I'm gonna get much from that. I just like to, I'm part of the coach.